What's up everybody, Nate here from Out of the Basement, bringing you a brand new action figure review today from NECA Toys. We're taking a look at the ultimate Ghostface, not from Scream. This is just like McFarlane in the past, is technically not from Scream. It's just Ghostface based on the costume, which I don't know why toy companies over the years have had such a hard time putting Scream on the box. I believe back in the day, NECA actually made Scream figures, but this new one that just came out is just Ghostface. Although that really doesn't bug me at all. I'm just happy to finally have a new Ghostface figure for the collection, especially one that is scaled with my other NECA Ultimate figures. So of course you can see right here, you have the mask on the front of the box. It says Ultimate Ghostface down at the bottom. On the side here, you have a picture of the figure. It says Ghostface and NECA. On the back, you've got a couple different shots of the figure itself. You can also see the different masks that it comes with, including a glow-in-the-dark one. And then right here tells you what it includes. You get multiple knives, a scythe, the voice changer, and 4 interchangeable heads and hands. On the other side of the box, more of the same. On the bottom here, the people responsible for the figure. On the top, it says Ghostface. And then, of course, this is a NECA Ultimate. So you get that excellent window packaging where you get another nice shot of the figure, and then you can see the figure and all the contents right there. So let's go ahead. We're going to crack this guy open. We'll take a look at the accessories and then the figure itself. First up, we get some nice alternate gripping hands for the different weapons that he comes with. And these look great. They are black painted plastic. They do have some nice sculpted details to them as well to mimic the look of gloves. And they look good and they fit their appropriate weapons well. You of course also get this big honkin' scythe here, which he can grip with these 2 grips here, and it is painted very well. It looks like wood. There's little bits of gray paint to mimic like some steel or iron. Up here at the blade piece as well, even has a little bit of rust detail to it, which is just really nice. That looks absolutely killer. Love the way this scythe turned out. Then you also get the voice changer here as well, which looks pretty good. Not a whole lot going on with it. It's like a beige paint. And you can see the sculpted detail there for like the microphone part of the voice changer. And then there's a couple black dots there. Even a little bit of a red dot there, which pretty much missed where it's supposed to go on the sculpt. And we also get a bloody hunting knife here, which I think the paint on the handle emulates wood very accurately. The blood looks very good as well. The silver paint for the blade is also fantastic. Then you also get more of like a traditional kitchen knife here, which is also bloody and has the same great details on it. So you've got some black for the handle there, along with some silver in between. The silver of the blade is nice and reflective, and the blood looks good as well. And then of course, when it comes to it being Scream, I'd say this is the most accurate knife, which is more of like a, I don't know, I guess I would call this maybe like a combat knife. I don't know, I'm not a knife expert, but it is also bloody. It is also painted very well. It does have black plastic for the handle, and the silver of the blade looks great. And then just as the back of the box said, you get a couple alternate heads here. So first up, we have the bloody mask, which looks pretty good. I like the way that it turned out. I think this is probably my least favorite head out of the bunch. The blood doesn't look all that natural to me. It kind of just looks like it is painted on, because I mean it was. And all the heads are like on this like dome sort of shape there. So they keep the hood shape really, really well. Then you also get like a zombified face. I guess this could be like, you know, your Scream 40 years later mask, just like kind of how they did with Michael. And I think this one looks really nice. It's got some really great details on it. The sculpt work and the paint application detail is absolutely fantastic. And then of course we also get the green glow-in-the-dark mask, which is easily my second favorite mask. It's so nostalgic. Just remember growing up and seeing the Ghostface costume coming with the glow-in-the-dark mask. So it's absolutely awesome that NECA included this version of the mask. And of course, it glows in the dark, and that just looks so awesome. I love that. So now, let's take a full look at Ghostface. All right, and here is Ghostface out of the packaging, looking absolutely fantastic. NECA, once again, has killed it. This figure is awesome. Now, this figure definitely has some issues with it, definitely has some widespread QC issues that I think everyone should be aware of. But as with most NECA figures, you know you're going to get some stiff joints. You're going to get some that you will need to heat up before you start really posing this guy around. Of course, this, just like all of my reviews, are a fresh out of the package look at the figure before I hit them with the hair dryer. That's just how I always like to do my reviews. But just be aware, just as with most NECA figures, they do need to be heated up. Now, should you have to heat them up? Absolutely not. I don't think you should, but that is the nature of the beast. It is that way and has always been that way when collecting NECA figures. So let's go ahead. We'll take them off the stand. We'll get a closer look, and then I'll show you the articulation. All right, and up close and personal here, you can see that, yes, this is the plain white mask. This is the one that comes on him in the box. It looks absolutely fantastic. The black paint is very accurately painted. I love the matte look of the mask as well. The white paint is also really clean and just looks absolutely wonderful. Of course, he has like this cloth outfit on, which does admittedly look a little weird. It's a little bit bulky, but I understand that it is hard to do soft goods at such a small scale, especially for the price that you pay for NECA figures. Obviously, they had to cut some corners somewhere. I really just think it's around the neck, around the hood. Maybe it could be like pinched a little bit in the back, and then it would look a lot better. Like even just doing that, I think that looks a lot better, but it kind of flares out there. But it is like a nice, soft, reflective material that I think really accurately reflects the costume itself. And then of course you've got like the frayed arm pieces right here, which look good. And then you can see his alternate hands, so that is like the voice changer gripping hand. And then this is a tighter gripping hand for the smaller knife, as well as I believe this could also be for the scythe. You can pull his sleeves up just a little bit, but they are kind of like cuffed around the hands, and I don't really want to mess with that, but there is some sculpted detail underneath there. I can feel it. And then also the hood actually has like a little bit of a bendy wire to it, so you can sort of bend it out if you really wanted to and give it some sort of shape there, like so. I think that's pretty good. And then if you pull the rest of the costume up, you can see that the body itself is just like flat black plastic. The legs do have some sculpting to them. I believe these legs are Evil Dead 2 Ash, at least as far as my memory serves, just looking at them. That's what it looks like to me. I could be wrong, but I'm thinking, yeah, these are Evil Dead 2 Ash legs. But the boots do also have some nice details to them. They're nice and brown, have some good sculpting, some good silver paint on the like lace holders there. So that looks really nice. Not a whole lot of crazy details going on with this guy, of course, as you might imagine, given that he is largely in costume in a large piece of fabric here. So I think overall, though, the design is great. It looks awesome. Happy to have another affordable Ghostface figure for the collection, because as we all know, some of those Scream figures are absolutely insane on the secondary market in terms of how expensive they are. So I, for one, am happy to have this guy in my collection. I do have the old McFarlane Ghostface figure, but it's an old McFarlane figure, you know? So anyways, let's go ahead. We're gonna take a look at his articulation. All right, so Ghostface can actually look up really far. Excellent range of motion in the head. Can't really look down all that much. Of course, you can look side to side, and the head itself, you could rotate it all the way around if you wanted to. Oh, and the bendy wire is poking out. That's not good. Of course, you do also get attitude, which is very important for a Ghostface figure. These shoulders do move all the way out as well, which is absolutely fantastic. Of course, they do rotate all the way around. But of course, with the cloth goods on, you can't really do that. This elbow seems to be a widespread issue, and mine is just the same there. The second part of the double jointed elbow is completely frozen. So you will have to heat this elbow up if you do want to get that extra range of motion out of there. I think the 90 degrees is just fine for me. I think you can get it looking good enough with the knife. You can see here, if I do it on this arm, there is definitely double jointed action going on there. Of course, the wrists can rotate, and they do have a horizontal hinge there, which is present on both sides. For the ab crunch, you get about that far forward, and you get about that much back, so really nothing at all. It does rotate at the upper torso, and you do get a little side to side there. Ghostface can kick out very far. That is really far there. Single jointed knee is completely frozen on this side. Ooh, and pretty stiff on this side as well. So be very careful when dealing with this guy. Definitely seems like he needs quite a bit of hot water. And actually, taking a look at this, his leg's on backwards on mine. So that's awesome. Really great QC there, NECA. Thank you for that. So yeah, I guess that makes a lot of sense because the knee is backwards, so great. I guess it's not the end of the world, considering I don't really put my NECA figures in crazy dynamic poses. And of course, having the skirt piece over the legs certainly helps as well, but that's kind of a bummer. Of course, there is a little bit of swivel to be had there as well. And then if you move down to the feet, they move down about that far. They move up just a little bit, but you do get ankle pivot. So the articulation on this guy is pretty standard fare for most Ultimate NECA figures at this point. There's nothing really crazy going on with this figure. Not a whole lot new, but I'm just very happy to finally have a Ghostface figure for my collection that's going to match the rest of my Ultimate figures. So let's go ahead. We're going to put him back here, and we will see how he scales. First up, here he is with my favorite NECA line. Of course, it's the Friday the 13th figures. We have Remake Baghead Jason and Roy Burns. Then we've got Pinhead and the Creep. And we've got Tiffany and Chucky. Then we have the Yellow Lantern Predator and the NECA Marty McFly. Then the NECA Ultimate Halloween 2 Michael and the Mezco Michael Myers. And then last but not least, we have the McFarlane Toys Movie Maniacs Norman Bates and the Movie Maniacs Ghostface, which personally, I gotta give this one to NECA. I think the sculpting on the mask is much better. It's much more accurate. The face on the original McFarlane Toys figure just looks kind of goofy. But of course, one figure is, it's probably almost about 20 years old at this point. And the other one is brand new. So of course, I mean, of course the NECA one would be better. But I still do like this figure. It's very nostalgic for me, and I'll always keep it in the collection just as a nice memento there. And of course, the one thing that this figure doesn't come with, that this figure does have, is the phone. Unfortunately, it's kind of pegged in. Well, actually, let's see here. So hey, look, there you go. He's got the phone now, just like the classic 90s version. So there you go. There is his sense of scale. So there you go. There you have it. There is my review of the brand new NECA Toys Ultimate Ghostface. I think besides lacking the cell phone, he pretty much comes with everything you could possibly want out of a Ghostface figure. You get plenty of different head sculpts. You get plenty of weapons for the figure itself. And I think overall it just looks awesome and is a great addition to the NECA Ultimate shelf. Of course, I'd love to know what you guys think of this figure in the comments down below. Are you going to pick this one up or are you going to pass? Why? Why not? Of course, I'm Nate from Out of the Basement. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.